history. Across the world, girls with girls from then till now. Holy cow, lesbians have existed forever. Yay! Let's learn about it. It's lesbian mini history with Cat Louise,
Snow day. This look means snow day. We have the beanie and the turtleneck. That means I'm not leaving my room and there's lots of things happening outside. So thank you for joining me on this cold March day in New York for another segment of Lesbian Mini History. Today's topic is going to be Angela Yvonne Davis. Famous political activist, Black Panther member, feminist, academic scholar, author, two-time candidate for Vice President of the United States on the Communist Party ticket, and of course, cultural icon, was born on January 26th in 1944. She is now 73 years old and was recently an honorary co-chair on the Women's March on Washington, and of course, for the purposes of this channel, Angela came out as gay in 1997 in an edition of Out magazine. Party was founded in 1966, and it was basically a citizen patrol group whose goal was to monitor police officers and to challenge the police brutality going on against people of color across America. The Black Panther Party was originally called the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, and they had a more militant and aggressive stance than other Black Power groups who were fighting for equality, and one of their biggest moves was to form an armed defense group. They took advantage of open carry laws in their states, and they raised money for firearms, and they basically formed armed citizen patrol groups who would just kind of keep an eye on police officers while openly carrying firearms. And of course this was construed as hostile, and the Black Panthers got a reputation for being violent, even though their primary focus was to raise awareness around social issues. The group released a 10-point program in 1967 entitled What We Want Now. Number 1, we want reform. We want power to determine the destiny of our Black community. Number 2, we want full employment for our people. Number 3, we want an end to the robbery by capitalists of our Black community. Number 4, we want decent housing fit for shelter of human beings. Number 5, we want education of our people that exposes the true nature of this decadent American society. We want education that teaches us our true history and our role in the present-day society. Number 6, we want all Black men to be exempt from military service. Number 7, we want an immediate end to police brutality and murder of Black people. Number 8, we want freedom for all Black men held in federal, state, county, and city prisons and jails. Number 9, we want all Black people, when brought to trial, to be tried in a court by a jury of their peer group or people from their Black communities, as defined by the Constitution of the United States. And number 10, we want land, bread, housing, education, clothing, justice, and peace. The party was very much focused on Black masculinity towards the beginning. They issued several articles in their newspapers stating that the role of the woman was to stand behind the man and be supportive. But by 1969, the party was pushing for gender inclusivity and equality, and stated that they found sexism to be counter-revolutionary. So from that point forward, women started to rise through the ranks of the group, becoming leaders and voices and being seen as active members in the self-defense movement. However, some female members of the party were claiming to still be experiencing misogyny within the group, and one member to actively speak out against that was Angela Davis. After her return from studying abroad, Angela joined the civil rights movement. She became a member of the Black Panther Party, but left after experiencing sexism in the group. She then kind of switched gears and joined an all-Black faction of the Communist Party. Angela was very drastic in her views. She did not like the current political system and she wanted drastic change. She ran for Vice President of the United States twice on the Communist Party ticket, And she actually lost her job, her professor job at UCLA, because of her affiliations with the Communist Party. And this was largely thanks to current California governor at the time, good old LGBT community fave, Ronald Reagan. The faculty of the university did actually push back against his order for her to be fired because they didn't think that it was right for someone to be fired simply because of their political affiliation. But he held a meeting with the governing group of the university, and her contract was not renewed the following year. Backtracking a bit, I want to talk about some of her experiences with the Black Panthers. One of the most famous incidents being her arrest in 1972. Essentially, several people were killed by guns that were registered in Angela's name, so while she was not really involved, she went to jail. She became sort of a martyr overnight, with Free Angela written over images of her becoming a common sight, and after 16 months in jail, she was acquitted of all charges. She then began to shift her focus to more individual projects such as the prisoners' rights movement, women's rights, or LGBT rights. So Angela came out as gay later in life, partially because of her already controversial image, and also because of the negative stereotypes that surrounded Black gay women, and also because that's just when she came out, and people can come out whenever they want, and it's still valid, no matter how old you are. But she came out a little later in life, and she's never really been known to talk about her sexuality or her relationships on a personal level. She has spoken about race and class in the gay community, but it seems like everything for her comes back to a political stance. When she does talk about her sexuality, she's said things like she's fine with her lesbianism being seen or being taken as a political stance. But she doesn't really ever talk about it on a personal level, at least not with the media or in the public eye. Angela is the author of several books on feminism, race, prisons, women, and politics. All of them are going to be linked below, along with all of the sources that I've used for this, as I always try to do. She received the Lenin Peace Prize in 1979, the distinguished honor of an appointment to the UCLA Presidential Chair of African American and Feminist Studies in 1994, and the Black Girls Rock Icon Award in 2011. She's also a co-founder of Critical Resistance, which is an organization that's working to end prison industrial complexes and mass incarceration. Angela has been a strong voice for Black women and inspired a generation with her intelligence, perseverance, and her boldness. She is a fierce civil rights activist, and she's not slowing down. She recently spoke at the Women's March on Washington, and I'm going to link that full speech in the description box below. However, I also want to end this video with a cut of that speech, so I'm going to splice it on to the ending here, and I'll just say now, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, and have a wonderful day. This is Angela Davis at the Women's March on Washington.
Over the next months and years, we will be called upon to intensify our demands for social justice, to become more militant in our defense of vulnerable populations. Those who still defend the supremacy of white male heteropatriarchy had better watch out. The next 1,459 days of the Trump administration will be 1,459 days of resistance. Resistance on the ground, resistance in the classrooms, resistance on the job, resistance in our art and in our music. This is just the beginning. And in the words of the inimitable Ella Baker, we who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Thank you.